before, and I can't afford to cry. I got work in the morning, I got bills, I got family ties. You'll play with the piece of me I try not to reason with, not trying to make it clear. Wonder why you even here. Don't you know I can't be caught up on no bullshit. I don't got the time. Don't care who you with or what you're doing. I'm doing it right. Self-care, self-love, selfish. Self-care, self-love, selfish. And I want you to know that I did try my best with you. I cut off all my hoes, that was just for you and I don't got the time. I'm doing it right. Self-love, self-care, selfish, baby. Self-love, self-care, I'm selfish as fuck right now. Right now, 'cause a nigga ain't gon' pay all these bills. They ain't about to let me know. I just don't got the time, 'cause y'all niggas ain't shit. Y'all niggas ain't shit, no. So I gotta put myself in the front. Know what I want and I gotta be fine by myself, alone with myself, and I'm taking my time. I'm doing this right. Self-love, self-care, selfish as fuck right now. Selfish.
Welcome to Blended Healing, Shadow Healing Revisited, Part 2. The last time we spoke, we talked about the ego, the higher self, the I am good, I am bad. And you wrote that down in your journal. Today we're going to be talking about duality and the mainstream narrative of right versus wrong. When it comes to shadow healing, from the time most of us were very young, we were taught the different concepts of right from wrong. And many of us experience that constant grooming of being to be good, to be a good girl or to be a good boy. And we were given rewards to reinforce that good behavior and punished for bad behavior. That isn't to say that navigating the world in a compassionate and loving way is not valuable. It is. But the way we learn to be good is by essentially being trained like dogs for actions. And these responses that we learn to reinforce society's ideals of what good is and the punishment to deter us from doing bad things has very much been priming us to be disconnected from our intuition and force us to suppress many of our own very natural states of being. You see, when we were young, we were already in a natural state. Everything was taught, everything. That tore away us from those natural instincts of intuition and the like. You see, the problem with priming us to do the thing that we are either good or bad is that in suppressing our natural urges, we fail to honor those cynical ways in which we operate based on various things, both natural and nurtured, things that may influence our way of navigating the world can be those transgenerational trauma, direct trauma, secondhand trauma, karma, fear, disability, because it's understood culturally, but actually, I would like to say differently abled. Cultural narratives and ideas, astrology, socioeconomic status, and religious upbringing. On top of the fact that there are many, many, many ways in which we may think, speak, or do things that are bad. Is that bad itself? It's just a construct of society. Everybody draws the line somewhere different. And when it comes to acceptable and unacceptable behavior, our man made laws are in place to create order, but their interpretation is varied and it's always situational. You may have the right or rigid belief that lying is always bad, which in principle may be a valuable principle to hold. But if you are taken back in history and put in the position of a homeowner who opens the door for somebody that they're not supposed to let in because they're being hunted by the police, and but you hide these people in your home, knowing that there is such a small community of these people, these children that are hiding under your bed, that may be taken to different detention camps. Have you ever thought about that? And if you say yes, you lie. You see, the truth is not just black and white anymore. When we introduce the many different situations that are influenced by a bullet point list. I want you to see, feel, and imagine this scenario in your mind. You're sitting on a park bench, seemingly exhausted. Your arms are resting at the top of the bench. While you sit there, you look up to the sky, and then you say, I always believed. And then here comes a bird and perches right next to you on the bench. But you're so involved in what you are saying that you don't even recognize that they're there. And then you go, I always believed I was a reasonable and pleasant person. Now it turns out I might be awful, absolutely awful. And this is what you are speaking into the universe. But unbeknownst to you, the universe is already there, right next to you, telling you you can be so many things all at once, giving you possibility. But we're so wrapped up in not even thinking that the divine has answered us all along. You see, the story of right and wrong has permanently fixed things that is not natural. It is not realistic. Situations have context to them. The nature of right wrong ebbs and flows depending upon your perspective, the lenses that you see through, as does your own character, which is ever changing, dependent upon the situation. And things that are stamped, approved, or acceptable in one generation could be wrong in the next. And beyond all of that socio-cultural and economic context of right versus wrong, the ultimate truth is that we are all capable of and do behave in a less conventional way. Good ways, bad ways, jealousy, greed, cold, selfish, unkind, angry, violent, aggressive, dismissive, passive aggressive, rude. We may be more or less of these things that the next person, but there is no denying that even in the most microscopic way, we all embody the totality of the human experience, for better or for worse. You see, the line that is separating good and evil passes not through states, nor between classes, nor between any political parties either, but right through every human heart. And through all human hearts, this line shifts. It moves around different locations within the years, and even within our own hearts are overwhelmed by evil. One small thing of good can be retained. When we are looking through a hole, a small little hole, there's certain behaviors as good or bad, right or wrong, and then we're trapped. We're trapped because life isn't black and white, and the only constant thing is change. It's not written in stone. It's built into things, but it's not written in stone. It's the coming and the going of everything, but it's not written in stone. But what we do want to do is to cling on to good situations and try to repel the bad ones. We are inevitably going to be miserable. You see, because neither of us are here to stay forever. And that goes back to the fact that our thoughts, our words, and our actions do not define us as people. The I am, the true eternal that exists, is independent of your behavior. What about clinging to a sense of yourself? There is a balanced state of mind that does not engage with craving or aversion. We have four sublime attitudes, and it's considered neither a thought nor an emotion, but rather the steady, conscious realization of reality. It is the ground for wisdom and freedom and the protection and compassion and love. It is tapping into the state of the observer. Get your paper out. The observer, the one who watches without judgment as things unfold. Misery. Misery is bred from craving, the need of something or someone, or the dislike of somebody else. It could be a sensation, a thought, a smell, a noise, a person, or a situation of any kind. And if it's something that you really want, you desire, it could be or it could not be, because misery is definitely guaranteed. It's one of the only guarantees in life. It is from that thought, that the concept that this too shall pass was born out of. And whether you are in good times or bad times, it too will come and go. So don't get attached to either one of them. It exists everywhere, including in our own mind. Our thoughts are transparent, just like the clouds. They come and they go. Sometimes they cling to the beliefs and the stories that run through your mind to ensure that misery is there too. Like all things come and go. This is the time where meditation is an answer. In order to cultivate the distance between who you are to your eternal higher self, the observer. Look at your paper and the things that you want to think, want to say, and want to do. Move down to the ego. You see, the ego hates this because the ego wants to cling to the thoughts and words and actions to give it life. It's not even that it clings to anything truly, because the ego only exists by believing the thoughts that you think. It's not an entity. It is the construct, something that we built, that we created by believing that thoughts and words and actions are who we are. Look at that ego in the middle of your page. Now look at the below part. When we think a good thing, we are such a good person. When we volunteer and donate or help somebody, the ego just loves being a good girl or boy, a good woman and a good man. Like it was primed to strive since childhood. Now, I'm not saying that you should never do kind things, because there is no such thing as right versus wrong. Not at all. The key is acting from an authentic place, knowing that you are the observer of those actions, not the doer. The key word is authenticity, which requires living in the moment from action, not as an actor. Everybody is born in freedom, but dies in bondage. The beginning of life is totally loose and natural. And then society enters, and then the rules and regulations enter, and then morality comes in, and then there's discipline, and there's all kinds of sorts of trainings and looseness, and the naturalistness and the spontaneity is being lost and hidden. You start to gather around yourself a sort of armor. One starts becoming more and more rigid. The inner softness is no longer there. On the boundary of you being the one who creates a fort-like phenomenon around you, building that wall in order to defend yourself, so you not to be vulnerable, for you to react, for your security, for your safety, and for the freedom of being lost. You start looking at yourself in the mirror and looking in your eyes, seeking approval and seeking denial, seeking condemnation, instead of appreciating yourself, or instead of calling yourself more valuable. You see, the others become the criteria of where we want to measure ourselves up to be. Being compassionate, not because you follow it as some type of law. Being loose and natural simply feels compassion flowing all around you. There is nothing to do on this part, but just be. Just be and allow your growing awareness to come upon you. Ashe. Okay. The next time we meet up, we're going to be talking about this onion. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. More importantly, like I said in the last, well, I should say in part 1, I told you I did a series on this a while back. Go into my library and go to the section that says shadow work. I want to thank you for stopping by. Be well, stay safe. Ashe and deep bow to each and every one of you. And I shall see you all very, very soon.
This before, and I can't afford to cry. I got work in the morning. I got bills, I got family ties. You'll play with the piece of me. I try not to reason with, not trying to make it clear. Wonder why you even here. Don't you know I can't be caught up on no bullshit. I don't got the time. Don't care who you with or what you're doing. I'm doing it right. Self-care, self-love, selfish. Self-care, self-love, selfish. And I want you to know that I did try my best with you. I cut off all my hoes, that was just for you and I don't got the time. I'm doing it right. Self-love, self-care, selfish, baby. Self-love, self-care, selfish. selfish as fuck right now.